Hi, veg heads. Hi, veg, your besties. Listen, I've been talking to some moms, okay? Moms is sort of synonymous with parents, but I've been talking with some people, some humans with children, and they are expressing some discomfort with being plant-based, moving towards, in their cases, moving towards a practice of veganism. And how does that look feeding their kids, feeding their grandchildren? How can they be moms, parents, the way they think of them, way they think of what a mom is, how a mom feeds her kids? How can you be a mom and not feed your kids meat, eggs, dairy? How can you? How can you? And it reminded me a story, because in my case, I feel like I'm not that worried about it, but I'm wondering why? And one of my clients said, well, that's because you're a Maverick Matriarch. Well, I always own the concept of being a matriarch. I feel like I've been a matriarch for a while, and I love the concept of being a matriarch. And we hear a lot about the patriarchy. I think the matriarchy has its own complications and its own tremendous benefits. So if I'm a Maverick Matriarch, I'd like to invite some other people to be Maverick Matriarchs with me. And so how do we feed our families, entertain our families, nourish ourselves, model eating and nourishment in front of our families? How do we do that if we're deciding we don't want any more meat, dairy, eggs, etc.? So interesting question. And it reminded me of a very old story, which I don't know if it's apocryphal or not. It sounds like it could have been true, but the story of the woman who's teaching her teenage or young adolescent daughter how to cook the Thanksgiving turkey. So this is not a plant-based story, but in the plant-based in this story, they're cooking the Thanksgiving turkey together. The mother is saying, okay, and here now you cut the wings, the small wings off the turkey, and you put her in the you put the rest of the turkey in the roasting pan. And the adolescent says, Mom, why do you cut the wings off the turkey? She goes, I don't know. Your grandmother always did. Let's call your grandmother. Luckily, grandmother's still around to pick up the phone. It says, Grandmother, why do we cut the wings off the turkey on the Thanksgiving turkey before we put it in the roasting pan? And she goes, oh, do you still do that? I had a roasting pan that was too small for the turkeys we needed to cook for our big crew. So to make room, I would cut off the wings and use them for stock another time. But it was not because it was part of the recipe. It was because her roasting pan was the wrong size. This is a metaphor for many things. We have brought along with us some cultural ideas about food, about community, about sharing, about celebration, and they may not fit in the container that we want to live in now. We've left some food styles and some cooking styles back in the 18th century and in the 19th century, and yes, in the 20th century. And we hopefully are not abandoning our culture, but we are choosing the parts of the culture that we most resonate with. And I can't imagine for most families what you would choose to resonate more with than just the health and the connection and the celebration of being together, especially after this year where so many of us have been separated from our loved ones. So don't let that idea bother you, that how can I be a mom and not eat the way my mother or cook the way my mother and grandmother and great grandmother cooked? Why don't you think about that just a little differently? You can do anything you want, ultimately, right? You can do anything you want. But if you can do anything you want, maybe choose what you feel is best for your health and best modeling for your family, feeding your family with things you have unreserved confidence in, that are going to give them the best chance at a healthy, vibrant, energetic, youthful future. Go out there and veg your best. And thank you for letting me babble at you. The podcasts are out every week. Turn those on. On Instagram, we're going to be doing another giveaway, I think, on Instagram. I'll put the notes down below, and I'll just watch us. Watch this space. Bye, guys.